Hey guys, it's Brad the Buff. I got my buff in my head and I'm ready to go. Today I am doing an unboxing of the warbonnet Blackbird XLC. This is a hammock. It's an ultralight hammock. I got it already set up with the straps to put it up with. I have not opened it and I'm excited to check it out now. This was my birthday gift for myself. Anytime you guys see these unboxings, just know that I'm excited. I'm going to show you what's going on with this box in this video. So I am a tent camper. I've tried to hammock camp before. I have never enjoyed it. I have a hard time sleeping, getting on my side, but I always like to go back and try things again. I did a ton of research before I bought this. Obviously, I wanted something that was light enough that I could bring it on shorter trips to use, even if I didn't want to sleep in it, just to give it a spin. But I wouldn't mind because, you know, if I got used to using this and I was comfortable in it, I could get rid of my pad and I could save weight. This comes in like I said, this is the Blackbird XLC, which is for extra tall. It's for people of about from 6 foot to 6'6". They have a smaller version. It's about a pound. The XLC is 1 pound, 5 ounces. And with my straps to set it up, I'm in at an extra 3 ounces. So I have about 1.5 pounds into this, 1 pound, 8 ounces. So that's not too bad. That weighs just about as much as my duplex. So, and this is without a tarp, although I do have my ultralight tarp I could put over top of it. So here we go, this is it. Wow, the fabric feels very nice to the touch. It's, it doesn't feel super plasticky. It feels more like a sheet. It feels more like a sheet. It does have a built-in mosquito net. And one of the cool features of it is it has the cross design where you can put your feet at an angle, so you kind of end up like a box. That's hard to explain, but what they do is they make it so at the bottom, if you sleep diagonally, you kind of lay straight instead of being in a hammock. Instead, you kind of turn slightly and you're in a straight line. So I don't know, super cool so far. These are the straps. These are called Dynaweave straps. They are the strongest for the weight. And I'm just going to loop them in these have continuous loops on the end. There's a few different ways that you can put them together, but I just went with the continuous loops on the end. So I'm going to set it up and we'll check that out here in just a minute. So once I have it set up, I'll record that. Okay, so I've set up my warbonnet XLC a couple of times just to kind of get used to it. So you want to get your legs a little bit higher than your head. So I'm going to start setting it up, show you how easy it is. I got the Becket suspension with the fish hooks because I just wanted something simple that gave me a maximal range. These are the longest straps that they have, and I didn't want to be stuck between trees that were too close together. So as you can see, these trees are pretty far apart. I know it'll work, so I've already set it up. I think each one is about 15 feet. So really all you do is you come in. I want to make sure these are flat up against the tree. And I just tie it right into that fish hook, pull it tight, come down. There's a strap already set up in it. So I'm literally just going to wrap around. And I don't want to get this one too tight yet. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it. I'm not quite used to it. And I'm just going to pull a loop, a slip knot through, and take one of my stakes to hold it in there. So now I've got suspension on one side. I just dropped one of my stakes and these things are hard to see. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. So now I'm going to set up the other side. This is the side for my feet. So I want it to be higher. So once again, it's got the fish hook on the end. I'm just going to loop it around this tree here, get it a little bit higher than my other one, and bam, okay. Bring it back. And like you can see, I've still got plenty of space. I could probably go out another 4 or 5 feet, and I want to get my leg side higher than my head side so that my feet kind of hang up a little bit. So let's see how this looks. Okay, so once again, just put a little bit of a loop through it. The becket suspension is also the lightest. So I think I'm at like 1 pound, maybe 5 ounces for the whole thing. There we go. Once again, it's just a slip knot, and I just use one of my straight stakes and put through it. And then one of the core things is if you want to pull this netting out a little bit, you pull it out on each side. And let me see, I gotta get another stake. And then over here is what they call the pocket, and I'll get a close-up on it. There we go. So you use these just to give your head a little bit more space. So it's kind of, you're not so boxed in at the end, so it feels more open. So I'm gonna climb into it, and then I'll give you guys a close-up view. It's got 2 zippers on each side, and they do this so you don't have to reach all the way up or down. So now I could get in. Let's hope it holds. Every time I haven't had an issue with it gripping. Okay. So then I can close it from here. And I'm in, and this thing is incredibly roomy on the inside. You want to get up to where your shoulders are pretty much at the top here. And so my feet are slightly up in the air. I think I could have lowered this top half a little bit, but it's got this pocket in so I can lay sideways like this, and I am basically flat. I can get to where my butt is kind of right in the middle, and I'm pretty close to flat right now. My head is up maybe a little bit. I could scooch down, but there's kind of like a pocket on each side so I can lay sideways if I want to lay flat. Oh yeah, I'm pretty close to flat now, very close. But if I also wanted to sleep and get some elevation for my feet, maybe they were hurt and I wanted to get the blood flow out from swelling, I could sleep like this and have my feet up in the air and my head and my back down, or I can kind of turn sideways like this and almost sleep flat. It's very roomy on the inside, and there's like a little pocket here that you can stick your stuff. So you can see I'm sitting up in it. I'm very comfortable, super easy to sit up, set up. Let me just give you a quick tour of the inside of this thing. Yeah, you can get in and out pretty easy. No problems there. So I'm gonna come grab the camera and take you guys on the inside real quick, show you a few of the features. Okay, here's a little bit closer up view. You can see I've got a stake down here to pull this out from the outside. Here's what I was talking about with using my stake. This is just a slip knot right here. So all I need to do is pull this stake out, pull the knot through, and then it's slack again. So I'm using the stake to kind of hold the slip knot in on this side. This is my other side. This is my shelf that they've put in here. So if you've got things you want to stick, I could stick my clothes in here, you know, flashlight, whatever, so that as I was sleeping, it kind of falls down into this corner down here, and you can just hold all your stuff. There's a lot of space in here. I mean, you could almost fit a really small backpack in this space. You could fit a ton of clothes or whatever. So that makes me feel really good about the prospect of having it out and putting a bunch of stuff in there in the night that I need to keep with me You could take your clothes, stick them in there, flashlight, books, whatever. And then my other end, once again, another slip knot with a stake. Here's my fish hook. So that's all I did is I wrapped it around, put it through this, and it held very well. Getting in, you got a zipper on this end that comes all the way down to basically where your head is. So you can open it up and get in. Now I'm in the mosquito netting. And then the reason they put two zippers is that way you can zip this one. You can zip the other one that comes basically to your head and you're in here. And there's one on each side, so you can get in and out on each side if you want. I mean, the shelf side seems like the side you wouldn't want to get in and out on, but if you had to, you could. But now that I'm in here, you know, you kind of want your head to be up, they say, towards the top of the shelf here. And I don't know if you guys can see how much room I have on this shelf, but there's plenty of space in here to like drop something in. So if I drop something in, it would just slide down to the bottom here, so I would know exactly where it was. It wouldn't never come back out on me. And yeah, I got plenty of, I mean, my feet are way, you know, I've got several feet up there if I wanted to scoot up or down. And then like I was saying, this is me just laying in. You can see my feet are elevated now, and I'm kind of laying back, and I'm really comfortable. But if I want, there's like a side pocket here. See how it spreads all the way out? I put my feet here, and I twist like this, and now I'm flat that way, and I'm flat this way. So if you want it to feel like you're just sleeping on the ground almost, they have these side pockets that spread out so that you can slide your head and your feet, just like I was saying before, in diagonal. It's pretty cool. So you can see all the extra space I have here to slide into. And then on this end, it's all this extra space over here where my foot is. See, it spreads out this way. So once again, I just slide like this. I'm diagonal, but some of the really cool things, I mean, this is super comfortable. I wanted to get an ultralight one, even though I typically sleep in a tent, because I wanted to be able to bring it with me on tents where I wasn't trying to go ultralight the whole time. You know, if I was only going like 10, 12 miles or something like that, I could take this with me, just laying it during the day. But it does feel great. There's a lot of air coming in underneath me to keep me a little bit cooler. There's a lot more space on the inside than I thought. You can roll up your mosquito netting and tie it up to this if you want it, and tie it. There's your string line here that's holding you up. But I don't feel cramped in here at all. I can pull out the sides as far as I want them to go if I want to create a lot of space in here, so it feels more open. And the airflow. So I'm sure I'll take this out and try to sleep in it for a night. Obviously, I would need a tarp overhead, but I already have a tarp, so that's no problem there. Where you really would save your weight is not needing a pad. So my tent is lighter than this. If I wanted to go with my ultralight, with my the Ultiplex I just got. My Ultiplex, I'm all in about 21, 22 ounces. Right now, I'm at probably 21 ounces with the suspension and the hammock by itself. And with the tarp, I'm going to add at least, even if I get an ultralight one, I'm going to add at least another 8 ounces. So, you know, you'd be all in at maybe 29, but I wouldn't need a pad if it was summer. So you lose, you know, my 18 ounces on the pad. So it would end up being lighter than if I had my tent and my pad. Now, if I went with a tent and no pad, that would be one thing, which I guess you could do, but, you know, it's a little bit more necessary to have a pad when you're on the ground. But some advantages, this is a lot cooler. You don't need level ground to set it up. You know, and that is a huge advantage when you're hiking out in the woods. You only need to find 2 trees that are equal distance apart. You don't need to find level ground. So you can set it up anywhere as long as you got 2 trees. And so I like all those features. I like that, like right now, I'm just sitting in it. You know, if I had a little fire out in front of me, I basically have a built-in seat. So if you take your seat, if you take a hiking seat with you, this would replace the need for that as well. You know, I could have a fire a few feet out here and just sit and have a nice place where I could sit back and relax and have my feet out, and I've already got a built-in swing. So there's a lot of really cool features to it. You know, I'm sure I'll give it a try to stay in it overnight. I've done it before with hammocks and it hasn't been my thing, but I'm really happy to have this in my collection, even if I just use it for shorter hikes where I can sit out and relax in it during the day and sleep in my tent at night. But this is the Warbonnet Blackbird XLC. I'm about 210 pounds and about 6'2", and it's working really well for me. I've had no problems with it slipping off of the trees. It was something that freaked me out when I first set it up, if it was going to slide down. But every time I've set it down and hooked it in, it just stayed exactly where it was. So it's given me a little bit more confidence every time I've put it up. But pretty cool product. See you guys next video. Hey guys, if you like the video you just saw, please subscribe, click the bell so you can get alerted for any new videos that I may do, and check the links below for any information I described in the video. I'll try to put as much there as possible. Thanks for watching.